Good evening, this is Jake, also known as The Real Day by Day on Twitter. Today I'm going to give you a very valuable lesson to show you how I personally pick between my AI algo picks, meaning prioritize between them. But before I do that, I would really appreciate a thumbs up on my video and subscribing for free future content updates. Now let's get started. If you are a member, you will notice that I have added multiple sorting options since the last video. I've also added a download tickers button. So let's start with that. You can download all of the tickers to a text file. Make sure you take notes here, so save that somewhere. And then go ahead and open your TC2000. What I personally use for this, you may have a different platform that also contains the columns that I'd like you to add for prioritizing, but if you don't, then you can use TC2000. They have a cheap silver plan, and you can try that. And let's get started. So what you would do is you would first go to watch lists. You would go to new personal list. Now in your new personal list, name your list AI list, and then go ahead and import all of your tickers into this list from the text file. Now assuming you've done that, let's go ahead and show you what to do next. Let's say you have my list already in place, but I'm, for the purpose of this demonstration, using all of the US common stocks instead of my AI algo list, as that, if I use that, it would not be fair to members to reveal what all those picks are. So let's go through this as if we are sorting through my small list that is not 5,000 items in the watch list, but it's approximately over 100. So if this is where we would start by, first of all, selecting US common stocks, clicking the plus sign, adding a value column. The first value column we want to add is institutional percent shares held by institutions. The second added value column is percent shares held by insiders. The third would be volume buzz, or today's volume buzz. And this is looking at the post buzz, which is post after hours. But for the purpose of this demonstration, this will automatically switch names to just volume buzz during market hours. So what you'd like to do is you'd like to first sort my AI algo list by institutions. And what you would also like to do is you would like to add a scan. Let's select the conditions of the scan. The conditions that I like personally are by percent range, something that I've created, but basically what it does is it looks at price history. It looks for a percentage between, whatever I want to define it as. In this case, I'd like to define it as minus 1% throughout the day to roughly 8%, which is an optimal range where you're not chasing, but you also see that you're getting unusual volume while the stock ticker is still green on the day, most likely. So if we go ahead and sort by institutions using this sort, we've now narrowed our list to 3,765, which is going to narrow the AI algo list even further down to a much smaller number. Now we have this percent shares held by institutions, in this case 186% share increase by institutions for VLRS with a volume buzz, a post buzz of 0.9. Now what I'd like to do is I'd like to find a high increase in institutions while at the same time finding the most unusual volume buzz. What is the volume buzz? It is unusual volume for that particular time of day. So if we just scroll down by eye and take a look and see if anything is particularly unusual that also has a big increase by institutions, we can do that. We can go down and see if it has a combination of both of those factors. So in this case, here's one. HIBB is down 0.82% of the day. It's got approximately 134% increase by institutions, while also having almost a 6% increase in unusual volume for this time of day. If we select on it, we can basically have a look and see what it's doing. Obviously, we can see that the trend is up. But essentially, that's what you would like. That's what you would want to do. You can continue to scroll down, and again, you'd want to find the combination first, sorting by institutions, next by volume buzz with the biggest volume buzz. So it's an order by condition basically. So you've got sorting by institutions, and then volume buzz comes next. You want to have the optimal combo of both, with institutions being in first place as your main sorting conditions. Once you get through that, you can do the same thing for insiders. So you can see that this particular VNCE has an increase of 2,900% in shares by insiders. But you also would like to find an interesting volume buzz. So in this case, we've got, for Groupon, we've got almost 1,400% increase by insiders with a 2% volume buzz. And if we go to Groupon, yes, we can see that it's bullish, and therefore you can find your tickers that way, except you not only have the entire list of stocks go through, but I've already pre-filtered many of these with my AI algo picks. So that basically covers the lesson that I wanted to go through. Now, once you pick the few that you want to do, you can then go to Seeking Alpha or FinViz, and you could do some simple research, and you do your human due diligence to see what the CEO is saying about his guidelines for the next quarter, something along those lines. You'd like to see a positive outlook, and you want to look out for anything where there are headwinds or negative insinuations in the speech or the quote by the CEO. And this will give you even another edge besides what I've already given you and besides what the AI has given you. So again, this is a very nice method to give you more edge, but you do need a platform that gives you these three columns. And from what I know, TC2000 is the one that I'm familiar with. So if you have these on your own platform, great. I'm not necessarily pushing TC2000, but it does have them, and that's what I use. Now, let's go to the next topic that I want to cover, which is how do you set sell targets. So I'm going to go ahead and reveal what I personally use to set sell targets. So you'd like to add a Keltner channel to your list of indicators. And the period that I like to use is 20 with an ATR multiplier of 1.35 and an exponential moving average. This allows you to immediately look on many different time frames and look to see where those bands line up. So for instance, there's a band right here at $42.11. That would be a sell target. We can scroll through different time frames and try to find different bands, and that's what I like to use. So here's another one, so that shows some resistance right up here at 37.80. So that's another conservative sell target. So we can go through these and take a look. So look at this candle breaking out of this Kelt band and going right into this Ichimoku kind of resistance where the Kelts are there. So these look like nice targets. Now, if you're conservative like me, you always shoot for the first target, wait for a pullback, you can add more, then shoot for the second target, or just call it a win if you get to your first conservative target, and that's what I typically do. That covers this video. Once again, thank you, and please thumbs up the YouTube video and subscribe if you like my content. I will try to do more of these updates to help all my members. Enjoy your evening. Signing out, Jake, also known as The Real Day by Day on Twitter.